Ladies and gentlemen, from the Kangaroos Footy Club, John Longmire. Now, Horse, it's obviously been a pretty long week, and I'm sure there's been plenty of celebrations. Who's performing well at the moment?
Oh, it's Wayne Carey always leads from the front, there's no doubt about that, Jason. Mickey Martin, we're actually starting to understand Mick by about today. Today's Wednesday, so he's actually he's going all right himself. So it's hard to believe it is actually only Wednesday. Feels though it's been 2 weeks already.
Johnny, any Harry Houdinis? Anyone has been hiding away and just couldn't handle the pressure of the quite couple of celebrations?
No, everyone's been pretty good actually, Hook. They've really performed when it mattered most on the Sunday and the Monday. There's a few quiet ones today. A few blokes went into hibernation for the day and just recharged their batteries, but I think mostly they've been pretty good.
What about coming out without the medallion? That's got to be worth a skull.
Yeah, I never thought about that actually.
The boys will be watching, I'm sure.
Yeah, they will be. There's no way they'll let me get away with it, so I'll probably have to pay for it.
Johnny, what's on for the rest of the week? What's going to happen? Today is Wednesday.
Now,
what's on?
It's a good thought.
What's on Thursday, Friday? What's happening for the boys?
We actually tomorrow I've got our best and fairest count at the Crown, and then
Who's going to win that, Horse? Put your neck out.
I think Peter Bell will win that. I think he's had a very good year. I think he's. I think Adam Simpson will be up there, but I think Belly's got it in the bag. And then 6 o'clock on Friday morning we leave to go to Mexico for our footy trip. So
about one of 4 teams. We're going there too. St Kilda are going, so it's going to be a bit of a bun fight, I reckon.
Well, if you think you're going to Mexico, please avoid it like the plague. That is the last place you want to be on. What about the emotion of actually receiving the medal? I mean, we know how much was talked about during the week. Take us through this moment, Horse. It must have been pretty special.
Yeah, it's actually the first time I've seen it. I'm actually carrying on like a pork chop there, Jason. But, I mean, that was obviously relief was the first thing that went through my mind. And I mean, running around the ground, doing the lap of honour and looking up into the crowd, there's 95,000 people there. It was just a sensational feeling.
Did you get distracted during the week? So many people were talking about the emotion of John Longmire playing in the grand final for North Melbourne or for the Kangaroos, and a lot of your teammates came out and said, hey, let's not forget, he's a hell of a player, he's earned his spot, let's not get carried away with the emotion. Was it hard just to focus on the game?
Oh, it wasn't too bad, actually. There was a lot of press talk about it, but I guess I knew in my own mind that come 3 o'clock on the Saturday when the ball was bounced that I had to do my job and earn my stripes. There's no way you get given a grand final. It's just, I knew that last year and I didn't get a game, so you just don't get handed those games on a platter, and I knew I had to earn my spot.
What about, sorry, Toddy, what about running out on the ground? 96 you missed out. What about when you first just broke for that banner for the rest of the boys? What was that feeling? I never played in the grand final. What was it like?
It's quick as you moved for a few years too, they reckon, Horse, once you hit the ground.
Yeah, I wasn't quite going to break through the banner in case I fell over and got injured. So, but, I mean, that was sensational. I was, I suppose, lucky in a way. It was my 200th game as well, so myself and Peter Bell led us out, and I mean, the actual roar when you went out that race, and I reckon that first lap when I was running around, I didn't actually know what was going on until I just had to regroup and have a look up and see what was going on.
You've missed 2. I mean, that must have been a big impact on your life. Now that you've been there, played in one and won one, what was it like?
Oh, well, it was just something you dream of. I mean, that moment when the siren went was something that you just can't describe. You'd love to bottle it, I think. It was just a sensational moment when you run around and grab the boys, and it was just really makes the 12 years and all the hard work worthwhile.
Do you wish that you could have been actually on the ground running around when the siren went?
Oh, it didn't.
I felt sorry for you when the siren went. It would have been nice to have been out there, but
yeah, I had a pretty good view of the game actually. I spent a fair bit of it on the bench, but no, it didn't worry me. I mean, once I was in the 22, that's all that mattered, and I tried to contribute when I did.
I don't think you ever feel sorry for anyone with a premiership medallion hanging around their neck. No. What about after the game? Didn't go back to Arden Street, headed over to the tennis centre. Big crowd head back there?
Oh, it was absolutely sensational. I couldn't believe it. I mean, we've turned up backstage and thought there might have been a few people there. Anyway, we've walked up on stage and got introduced to the crowd, and it was absolutely unbelievable. They went right off, and actually, I think David lets Peter Bell carrying on like an idiot. He thinks he's going all right on the dance floor, and I think you might be able to see David King comes on in a minute here and does a bit of a crowd surf across the top of the crowd and carries on a bit, but it was just fantastic to see this look on the supporters' faces.
Horse, what about your future? I mean, I know it's only been the grand final a few days ago. Have you sat down at all? Will you go on? Have you made any decision yet? I think you can go on, no doubt about that. What's your opinion about it all?
I don't know yet, Hook. I think that it's been pretty difficult. I mean, today's our first rest day, so it hasn't been a real good chance to sit back and reflect, but I've got a meeting tomorrow with the club, and I'll have a chat about it, and then we leave for the trip on Friday, so I guess I'll have to make a decision pretty shortly.
What about the coach, mate? Pretty intense guy. Has he let his head down a bit?
Yeah, he was actually pretty good. He was really good. He really enjoyed himself over the weekend, and on Wednesday on Monday, sorry, he came and had a few drinks and just relaxed with the boys and really savoured the moment. And it was actually really enjoyable to sit down and have a couple of quiet
to the
drinks
victors
with
go the spoils, and they continued well on into Monday, I can guarantee that, because our own Mike Sheehan caught up with the Roos on Monday.
Well, normally I'm on the couch, but today I'm on the piss with the North Melbourne boys. Now, there have been a lot of rumours going around even last year and this year that you're gay. This probably shows that you are.
Yeah, it's not a bad photo, is it?
But when he's happy, he's over the moon. Oh, well, he's over Simo anyway, isn't he? Yeah, mate, they call you horse, and I can see why your throat's buggered.
Yeah, I can't swear about buggered.
How long are you going to stay on the pitch with the boys for? How long is it going to last?
I'll just take it one can at a time.
Just Big Martin taking it one can at a time. What a footballing cliche. Shannon Grant and John Blakey, how you going, guys?
Very well, Mike. G'day, mate. How are you?
Very well. I'm in my element here. My head's going to be able to turn from side to side. Now, Shannon, very good impersonation. Don't get too smart. I'll write a hard-hitting column about you. You haven't had a drink yet?
I haven't had a drink.
Have you had lemonades?
Yeah, just lemonades. Just lemonades.
Now, I thought you played pretty ordinary in '96 and last year. I mean, you were probably the worst player on the ground. But you really... No, Wayne, he was. Don't disagree. Don't disagree with me. No, but you really turned the tables yesterday. I mean, you had one of the best games of your career, I believe. Don't you think? I mean, what do you think? What do you think?
Oh, I thought he was special, actually.
You thought he was... That's Bruce's line. They love me here. I'm getting on the pitch with the Kangaroo boys. We're going all night. Come on, Wayne, let's get on it. Let's get on it, boys.
And you make me want to sing with all the joy you bring. You look like gold.
Yes, a well-deserved premiership to Kangaroos player John Longmire, and he's certainly not letting that premiership cup get too far out of reach. And he's brought with him a couple of teammates, ladies and gentlemen, David King and the Norm Smith medalist Shannon Grant. Evening, fellas. Now, the first question I have to ask to both Shannon and to King, at what stage of the game did you think we're going to win?
All I'd have to say, I think around about the 20-minute mark. That's when I looked up and I realised that, you know, we weren't going to lose from there on in. And
Fourth quarter or third quarter?
the fourth quarter.
Jeez, it was in control before.
Oh, yeah, well, that's, you know, we had to make sure we got there first. And that's when the smile came out on the face and, you know, we actually started to celebrate quite well then. So, yeah, it was a great feeling.
Surely a bit earlier than that, Kingy.
Yeah, I think he's been a bit nice there. It was probably halfway through the third, probably, I think we had it in control.
And Kingy, you must be a little bit unhappy that you've had a couple of great runs, could have gone down in the history of AFL Grand Finals.
Could have been a Phil Manasseh goal, that long run.
The four bounces and you just shanked it at the last minute. You must be spewing.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, wasn't it? But it went back just as quick as it went the other way, I'll tell you.
How many bounces have you had all year?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I think Byron Pickett's had more than I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Shannon, what about yourself? I mean, I guess it's just a dream coming true. You've been unfairly criticised, I think, as a young player who's been involved in a couple of grand finals. It's a big monkey to carry on your back into a game like this, but you answered your critics the best possible way. Yeah, well, it's turned out fairly well. I mean, to get the premiership medal on Saturday and then to also get awarded the Norm Smith medal as well was just, you know, I was absolutely stoked. And then, you know, just to finally get a premiership medallion after losing 2 grand finals was just a great result. And, mate, geez, you've been a sharpshooter this year. That one there, I mean, the 4 goals that you did kick really got the boys going, and I've got to say, I had the pleasure of voting on the Norm Smith medal, and I thought you were the most influential player on the ground. Is it something you worked hard at this year, goal kicking? It just seems to have gone through the roof. Yeah, it's been, since I've come to North, it's been fairly good. I wasn't, I suppose, the greatest kicker goal when I was up in Sydney, but that's something that I've definitely worked on, and also worked a lot more on my fitness, which has come to the floor a little bit more.
What about the nude photo, boys? The nude photo? Bunch of homos, I reckon. What's going on? Look at them.
I'll tell you what, they've done well to get a shot that doesn't have anything untoward in it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now.
I think Adam Simpson's quite enjoying it there with Winston behind him, but...
I'll tell you what, King, there's a couple of tattoo shots of the boys. I think it must be back to 96. Now, 99, the players who have not played in 96, did they get... I think you can't see one of Mickey Martin at the back there, a tattoo on his bum at the back there. Any of the boys get some tattoos for the 99?
Winnie's got one as well, but his cheeks have flared up a bit over the last couple of years. I think they're going back to get some tonight, I think, so, yeah.
Tonight, are they?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Horse, what about, you've been around for over 10 years now, taking you to your 200th game to win a premiership. Shannon Motlop played a few games, won a premiership. What do you say to him?
Oh, he's just got to, I think he appreciates how lucky he is. It probably won't sink in, I think, until a couple of years down the track when he's played a few more games and had a few more years under his belt that he actually realises that he's played in a premiership in his first year. And Cameron Meady was the same at 19 years of age to play in a premiership. It's something that they'll treasure for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, a couple of interesting things have come out today. One is that Lee Colbert has come out and said that he would prefer to play for the Kangaroos. Now, he would be a great acquisition to any side. Dennis Pagan also came out and said that the 22 premiership players are untouchable as far as drafts or trades go. Now,
Jeez, I better get in there tomorrow then, Jace.
Well, I was going to say, Horse, if you're going to get Lee Colbert, it's going to be pretty hard to hang on to all 22. I mean, how does that sit with the guys?
Well, I mean, obviously, Lee Colbert would be terrific for the club, and he is a fantastic player. I wasn't aware of Dennis's comments, so you really find it hard to get a player of Lee Colbert's calibre without giving away good players or at least high draft picks, which over the last years we really haven't had because we've finished pretty high up in the ladder. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of the mix in the next couple of days.
A few players taking a pay cut too, I reckon, if he does get the nod to go to the Kangaroos. He wants a fair bit, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, Kingy and Shannon are going to go.
That's one thing that doesn't happen. When you win a premiership, no one takes a pay cut.
They just get more money.
All of a sudden, they become a $50,000 better player.
I'll tell you, Todd, how hard will it be now to come up now after winning the grand final? I mean, you won the Norm Smith medal. It'll be a fair bit of pressure on you personally. Is that a fair call?
Yeah, I think it is, but I think over the next, we're going on our footy trip on Friday and we've got the B&F tomorrow night, so I think we'll go away for a week or two and enjoy that, and, we'll come back and knuckle down and hopefully have a good pre-season.
What about Jason McCartney? Very stiff. Well, he was obviously going to miss out, but I mean, very unlucky that he's saved his worst moment for the end of the year when it's cost him a premiership. Has he been there with all the celebrations afterwards? Has he felt a part of it all, or has he been a little bit removed from that?
Oh, I think he's been there. He's definitely been there, and the way that he stuck around the club the last couple of weeks after the indiscretion, I think, has been a credit.
What about you, Kingy? 96, you played in the grand final. Now this one, is there any difference at all to the two grand finals?
I think there's a few different people there this year. These two guys, it's just great for them to win one, and they've bumped the celebrations up again.
What about Anthony Stevens? Did he bluff his way through into a grand final?
Hobbled out in the ground.
Because he hobbled through the banner. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, it was, I guess if it was home and away season, he probably would have missed maybe 3 weeks, and that just shows you the character of the bloke. There was no way from Sunday morning that he was ever going to miss, and I knew that once I saw the look on his face and he was always going to play, he got a couple of jabs and went out there. Could tell in the first quarter it was absolutely killing him, yet he just gritted the teeth.
What about he was on the crutches during the week, you were saying before, he was on the crutches, but when he walked past the coach's office...
threw him away. just ran past the coach's place. And,
well, the boys are on their way to a tattoo shop tonight. Any chance that they're dragging Dennis Pagan down there?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, there wouldn't be any chance. No way, no.
Just very quickly, there was a guy going around town, I think it was early in the year, impersonating Shannon Grant, going out, meeting young girls and taking them home. I think he may have been robbing them. Anything on that, Shannon?
Yeah, well, it definitely wasn't me, that's for sure. But,
Did you hear that story?
Yeah, I heard that. It was actually happening earlier on in the year, and, I think they actually got him, and I'm not too sure whether he was charged with anything, but, geez.
How'd you feel about that?
Oh, wasn't happy. But,
Yeah, loved it, Hawk. Absolutely loved it.
That was all. He wasn't real happy either.